Last night, the music world exploded with a shocking revelation that no one saw coming. Drake, one of the biggest names in the industry, was caught in an emotional whirlwind that left fans, critics, and even fellow artists questioning everything. Clips are already going viral showing Drake not just breaking down, but also seemingly bending the truth in a way that has angered his fanbase. The topic? Kendrick Lamar, his kids, and the people closest to him. The internet is ablaze with comments, memes, and heated debates, with viewers trying to figure out what exactly happened and why Drake's reaction has sparked such widespread backlash. From the first frame, the intensity was palpable. Cameras captured moments that seemed both heartfelt and suspicious, leaving audiences unsure whether Drake's tears were genuine, performative, or something far more complicated. Fans are now dissecting every second of the footage, replaying it to catch hidden details, gestures, or words that could reveal the truth. Some claim that Drake's emotions were authentic, portraying the struggles of balancing fame, personal relationships, and public scrutiny. Others argue that there was a deliberate narrative being spun, a performance designed to elicit sympathy while deflecting criticism. Social media erupted immediately, with hashtags trending worldwide and fans flooding comment sections to voice their anger, confusion, or support. The tension is real, and the stakes couldn't be higher for one of music's most watched figures. What's shocking is how the controversy quickly escalated beyond the screen. Friends, insiders, and even rival artists weighed in, some publicly criticizing Drake for what they perceive as manipulative behavior, while others defended him, citing the pressures of his life under constant scrutiny. Fans are debating whether this moment changes everything about Drake's image, and the discussion is far from over. Memes mocking the situation, side-by-side comparisons, and reaction videos are flooding every platform, ensuring that this story will dominate conversations for weeks. People are asking, did Drake cross a line, or is he simply human in a world that expects perfection? The night became more than just a glimpse into Drake's personal life. It turned into a full-blown cultural phenomenon. Every word, every tear, and every gesture was analyzed, with theories spreading faster than any award show performance ever could. This isn't just about one man's emotional moment. It's about perception, authenticity, and how fame can distort even the simplest expressions of humanity into worldwide controversy. Fans are now questioning what's real, what's exaggerated, and what this means for the relationships at the center of the storm. If you thought celebrity drama couldn't get any more intense, this is it. Drake's tears, his words, and the reactions of everyone involved have set the internet on fire. People are picking sides, debating loyalties, and creating viral content like never before. This story is far from over, and once you watch the full breakdown, you'll understand why fans are not just talking, but feeling deeply divided over what really happened. The stage is set, the controversy is live, and the world is watching every move, reaction, and explanation with unrelenting curiosity. The aftermath of last night's shocking Drake footage has sent the internet into a frenzy, and it's hard to overstate just how intense the reaction has been. Fans and critics alike are dissecting every frame, every word, and every gesture, trying to figure out what really happened. From the first moments, it was clear that this wasn't a normal night. Cameras captured Drake visibly emotional, his face contorted in ways that suggested pain, frustration, and perhaps even guilt. But alongside the tears came words that have left fans divided, some seeing them as heartfelt confessions, others as calculated statements meant to control the narrative. Social media exploded almost instantly, with hashtags trending, reaction videos going viral, and fan forums dissecting the footage in painstaking detail. It was clear that this moment had transcended normal celebrity drama. It had become a cultural phenomenon in real time. Sources close to the situation suggest that the build-up to this moment was far more complex than what fans saw on camera. Drake, already under immense pressure from public scrutiny, personal responsibilities, and the constant glare of social media, appeared to be grappling with a mix of emotions that spilled over during a live or recorded interaction. His words, specifically mentioning Kendrick Lamar, his kids, and those closest to him, were dissected line by line. Some interpreted the statements as admissions, while others saw subtle deflections or exaggerations. Fans quickly turned the footage into viral content, creating split-screen comparisons, memes, and commentary clips, turning every micro-expression into fodder for analysis. It was a spectacle that no one could look away from, drawing attention far beyond the usual music or celebrity circles. Meanwhile, the online discourse intensified as rival factions emerged. Some viewers sympathized with Drake, arguing that the pressure of fame and parenthood could drive anyone to moments of vulnerability, while others criticized him for what they perceived as manipulative behavior. The debate wasn't limited to fans. Commentators, critics, and even other artists weighed in, sharing opinions and insights that fueled the conversation further. Each new post, tweet, or video clip seemed to amplify the controversy, ensuring that the footage would dominate timelines and discussions for days to come. For many, this moment wasn't just about Drake's actions. It was a reflection of the way celebrity culture amplifies, distorts, and scrutinizes even the most personal experiences. One particularly viral moment captured Drake appearing to struggle to maintain composure while addressing Kendrick and his children. Observers noted that his expressions fluctuated between genuine remorse, frustration, and perhaps performance, a mix that only intensified the mystery. Clips of this moment quickly spread across platforms, often paired with captions questioning authenticity, loyalty, and emotional honesty. Fans began to debate not only what Drake was saying but how he was saying it, analyzing tone, body language, and timing in minute detail. Side-by-side comparisons of different reactions, memes highlighting specific gestures, and speculation about the implications for relationships involved became a dominant part of the online conversation. The footage had taken on a life of its own, evolving from a personal moment into a viral case study of celebrity influence, emotional manipulation, and public perception. By the end of it was clear that this story had captured the attention of the world in ways that few celebrity moments ever do. Drake, a seasoned public figure accustomed to navigating controversy, found himself in uncharted territory under intense scrutiny, dissected frame by frame, and debated in real time across multiple platforms. Fans and critics alike were captivated, questioning the authenticity of every tear and every word, while also trying to piece together the larger narrative involving Kendrick, Drake's children, and the inner circle surrounding him. The moment was more than just a viral clip. It had become a defining event, shaping the conversation around celebrity, emotion, and the delicate balance between personal truth and public perception. For viewers, the questions lingered. Did Drake cross a line? Was he honest or performing? And what does this mean for his relationships and reputation going forward? The emotional weight of the footage only intensified as fans and critics continued to dissect every moment. Drake's visible distress combined with the references to Kendrick and his kid created a narrative that seemed almost too layered to fully comprehend. People across social media were debating whether this was a rare glimpse of vulnerability from one of music's most guarded superstars or a carefully constructed moment designed to sway public perception. The sheer volume of commentary was staggering, with thousands of posts flooding platforms within minutes of the clip being released. Reaction videos analyzed his tone, body language, and pauses, breaking down every second to gauge authenticity. What started as a single video had transformed into a global conversation about emotion, honesty, and the high-stakes pressures of celebrity life. Behind the scenes, sources indicated that Drake was aware of the potential fallout even as the footage was being recorded or streamed. Friends, collaborators, and family members reportedly urged caution, warning that any misstep could trigger backlash or misinterpretation. Despite this, the emotional intensity seemed to override calculated control. Every word he uttered carried weight, and every gesture seemed amplified in the digital age, where millions of eyes were watching, analyzing, and forming instant judgments. Fans created side-by-side comparisons with previous public appearances, searching for inconsistencies, changes in demeanor, and signs of performance versus reality. The scrutiny was relentless, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The reaction from the public was immediate and polarizing. Some fans sympathized deeply, understanding that the pressures of fame, personal responsibility and constant scrutiny can drive even the most composed celebrities to emotional breaking points. They praised Drake for showing vulnerability, arguing that his honesty, even if imperfect, was a courageous display of humanity. Others, however, were skeptical, accusing him of exaggerating or manipulating the situation to garner sympathy, protect his public image, or deflect from criticism. This split in perception fueled endless debates, memes, and viral commentary, further cementing the footage as a defining cultural moment. The public was no longer just watching. They were actively shaping the narrative in real time. Adding complexity, several high-profile insiders and rival artists commented publicly, injecting fuel into the already volatile discussion. Some criticized Drake for exposing personal and family matters to the public, arguing that emotional displays involving children or personal conflicts cross a line. Others suggested that the emotional display was inevitable given the circumstances and lauded Drake for being human in a world that demands perfection from its celebrities. This public debate created a feedback loop. More attention led to more content creation, which in turn amplified reactions and speculation. The footage became a masterclass in viral controversy, illustrating how a single moment can dominate conversation, influence public opinion, and redefine the narrative surrounding an artist. By the end of Part 3, it was undeniable that the situation had evolved far beyond a simple emotional outburst. Drake's tears, his words, and the reactions of everyone involved had created a spectacle that merged reality, perception, and public judgment in ways that few celebrity moments ever have. Fans were left questioning the line between honesty and performance, authenticity and manipulation, private life and public spectacle. The footage had not only revealed a side of Drake rarely seen, but also ignited a global discussion about the pressures of fame, the responsibilities of public figures, and how emotions are interpreted in an age where every second is captured, shared, and scrutinized. The story was far from over, and the world was watching closely, eager to see the next chapter in this unfolding drama. By the time the footage had circulated widely, the backlash against Drake had reached unprecedented levels. Fans, critics, and even casual viewers weighed in, dissecting every word and gesture, with opinions split sharply. Some praised him for showing raw emotion, insisting that no one could truly understand the pressures he faces as a global superstar navigating parenthood, fame, and public scrutiny. Others accuse him of performing for attention, manipulating the audience, or exaggerating his feelings to avoid accountability. The digital landscape was flooded with memes, reaction videos, side-by-side comparisons, and trending hashtags, all focusing on the now iconic footage. In many ways, the controversy had grown beyond Drake himself, becoming a cultural phenomenon that forced people to question the boundaries of celebrity vulnerability and public performance. Insiders revealed that Drake's team was scrambling to manage the fallout. Efforts to release statements, control social media narratives, and clarify his intentions only fueled speculation. Every attempt to explain or justify his actions was dissected further by fans and critics alike. Analysts noted that the timing of the footage, combined with Drake's visible emotional state, created a perfect storm for online debate. No detail was too small to escape scrutiny. From his tone of voice to micro-expressions and subtle gestures, every movement was analyzed for evidence of honesty or manipulation. Social media had transformed into a courtroom, with viewers acting as jurors, critics as witnesses, and memes as exhibits, all determining Drake's credibility in real time. The controversy also spilled into celebrity commentary, as high-profile figures weighed in on the situation. Some criticized Drake for exposing personal family matters in such a public manner, arguing that even genuine emotion can cross ethical boundaries when children and private relationships are involved. Others defended him, emphasizing the difficulty of maintaining composure under constant scrutiny and the emotional toll of balancing personal responsibilities with public life. These mixed reactions created a viral feedback loop. The more people debated, the more the footage spread, and the more it spread, the more commentary it generated. Drake's emotional moment had become not just a story, but an ongoing spectacle, fueling discussions about authenticity, accountability, and the human cost of fame. Meanwhile, fan reactions continued to escalate, highlighting the polarizing nature of the footage. Groups emerged online, some staunchly defending Drake's honesty, others criticizing him for perceived manipulation, creating intense debates across forums, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. Side-by-side comparisons of previous statements, public appearances, and body language became viral content, dissecting every nuance for hidden meaning. Memes exaggerated certain expressions, sarcastically highlighting perceived hypocrisy, while reaction videos analyzed tone and delivery in ways that magnified the controversy further. The combination of emotional exposure, public curiosity, and digital virality ensured that the story maintained momentum, making it impossible for fans, media, or even Drake himself to control the narrative fully. By the end of Part 4, it was clear that the story had reached its peak intensity. Drake, despite his years of experience navigating public scrutiny, found himself at the center of a viral storm that few artists have faced. Fans and critics were now questioning the nature of celebrity vulnerability, the ethics of public disclosure, and the ways in which emotional moments can be interpreted, shared, and distorted online. The footage had transformed from a personal moment into a cultural touchstone, a story that would be debated, memed, and referenced for weeks. The narrative was no longer just about Drake. It was about the intersection of fame, authenticity, and public perception in the digital age. The world watched closely, waiting to see how the fallout would unfold, and how Drake would navigate the intense scrutiny that had now engulfed him completely. As the viral storm surrounding Drake continued to rage, the world watched closely, dissecting every new clip, statement, and reaction. What began as an emotional outburst had now become a defining cultural event, dominating social media feeds and trending topics across the globe. Fans were no longer just observing. They were actively shaping the narrative, debating whether Drake's tears and words were authentic or a carefully calculated attempt to manipulate perception. Every post, meme, and video reaction added fuel to the fire, creating a feedback loop that amplified both criticism and sympathy. The stakes had never been higher. One misinterpreted expression or word could sway public opinion, redefine reputations, and become the next viral headline. During the height of the controversy, several insiders and industry commentators offered perspectives that only intensified the discussion. Some argued that Drake had crossed a line by making deeply personal matters public, potentially involving his kids and family in a way that should have remained private. Others praised him for exposing the reality behind the curated public image of celebrities, highlighting the emotional pressures that come with fame and parental responsibilities. The polarized reactions only ensured that the footage remained a constant talking point. Fans dissected body language, tone, timing, and even social media responses, each interpretation reinforcing the narrative that this wasn't just another celebrity moment. It was a lesson in perception, public scrutiny, and the power of viral media. Amid the chaos, Drake himself reportedly reflected on the aftermath, understanding that the footage had taken on a life of its own. What he may have intended as a raw, vulnerable moment had become a global spectacle, subject to endless commentary and judgment. While some of the criticism was harsh, others found empathy in his struggle, arguing that even the most famous individuals face human challenges. Analysts pointed out that the incident underscored a larger truth about the digital age. Emotional transparency can be as dangerous as it is powerful, and public perception often outweighs the reality behind the moment. Drake's emotional display became a case study in fame, illustrating how vulnerability and controversy can converge to dominate conversations worldwide. The fan reactions continued to shape the ongoing narrative. Supporters created compilations celebrating Drake's honesty, while critics mocked perceived inconsistencies or manipulations. Hashtags, reaction videos, and memes continued to spread, ensuring the story's longevity. Even celebrities and commentators were drawn into the discussion, offering perspectives that further polarized audiences. In essence, the footage had transcended its original context, becoming a cultural touchstone that examined the intersection of personal truth, public image, and media influence. The night's events highlighted the intense scrutiny celebrities endure, demonstrating how a single emotional moment can define reputation and influence perception for weeks, months, or even years. By the end of Part 5, the impact of the footage was undeniable. Drake's tears, his words, and the reactions of fans and critics had cemented this moment as one of the most talked-about events in recent music history. The story concluded not with a resolution, but with a cultural conversation that would persist, analyzing authenticity, manipulation, and the pressures of fame. For Drake, the night served as a reminder of the delicate balance between personal vulnerability and public perception. For the world, it became a viral spectacle, a debate, and a cautionary tale about how celebrity, emotion, and media intertwine in the digital age. One thing was certain: this story would not be forgotten anytime soon, and the questions it raised about fame, honesty, and influence would continue to reverberate across social platforms for a long time. If you thought Drake's emotional outburst was just another celebrity moment, think again. This footage has the internet exploding, and fans everywhere are debating every word, every tear, and every gesture. Now it's your turn to join the conversation. Comment below. Do you believe Drake was being genuine, or was this a calculated move to control the narrative? Hit that like button if you were shocked by the viral clips, and make sure to subscribe for the latest updates, breakdowns, and deep dives into the biggest celebrity moments. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you never miss a viral controversy like this one. Share this video with your friends, family, and anyone obsessed with celebrity drama. The discussion isn't over, and once you watch the full breakdown, you'll understand why the world can't stop talking about Drake, Kendrick, and everything that went down in this emotional whirlwind.